Ever wondered why life is the way it is? Could biochemistry hold the answers? Welcome to this captivating journey into the world of biochemistry, the science that explores the chemical processes within and related to living organisms. It's a fascinating realm that helps us understand life at its most fundamental level. From the DNA blueprint to the energy currency of our cells, biochemistry provides the keys to the secrets of life. Stay tuned as we delve into the top 5 thought-provoking questions in biochemistry. First up, how does DNA store information? To understand this, we need to delve into the structure of DNA itself. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is a double helix, somewhat like a twisted ladder. The sides of this ladder are composed of alternating sugar and phosphate molecules, while the rungs are made up of pairs of 4 different bases: adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. The unique pattern of these bases is what holds the key. Just as letters combine to form words and sentences, these bases combine in specific ways to form the genetic code. Adenine always pairs with thymine, and guanine with cytosine, creating the unique sequences that encode our genetic information. It's the order of these base pairs that spells out the instructions for building every part of a living organism. Think of it as an incredibly complex recipe book, with each base pair combination corresponding to a specific ingredient. When a cell needs to make a protein, it looks up the recipe in the DNA. This recipe is then transcribed into messenger RNA, which carries the instructions to the cell's protein factories, the ribosomes. Here, the genetic code is translated into a sequence of amino acids, the building blocks of proteins. Just as different ingredients can create an endless variety of dishes, different sequences of amino acids can create an almost infinite variety of proteins. And it's these proteins that determine everything from your eye color to your height, from your susceptibility to certain diseases, to how your body metabolizes drugs. But remember, while our DNA does shape us, it's not our destiny. Environmental factors, lifestyle choices, and even random events can influence how our genetic blueprint is read and implemented. So how does DNA store information? By providing a unique sequence of base pairs that serve as the blueprint for every protein your body needs to function. Each tiny strand of DNA holds an astonishing amount of information, carefully coded and intricately intertwined within the double helix structure. In essence, DNA is like a blueprint guiding the construction of every living organism. Next, why are proteins so important to life? Proteins, these complex biomolecules, are the backbone of life as we know it. They are the unsung heroes that carry out the instructions from our DNA, the very blueprint of life. The significance of proteins is such that they are not just one of the key building blocks of our bodies, but they also play diverse roles that are essential for our existence. Imagine a bustling city where everyone has a unique job. Proteins are just like the inhabitants of that city, each with a specialized function. They serve as enzymes, speeding up chemical reactions that would otherwise take ages. They are the microscopic workers that keep the wheels of life turning, ensuring that everything from digestion to DNA replication happens efficiently. But that's not all. Proteins also work as transporters and messengers, ferrying vital molecules around the body and transmitting signals between cells. Picture a protein as a postal worker, delivering messages and parcels within the bustling city, ensuring that everything runs smoothly. Moreover, proteins are the body's builders and architects. They provide structure to our cells and tissues, and they are crucial for the growth and repair of our bodies. Like bricks and mortar in a building, structural proteins such as collagen and keratin give strength and resilience to our skin, hair, nails, and connective tissues. The synthesis of proteins is a marvel in itself. The DNA in our cells carries the instructions for making proteins. During a process called translation, these instructions are read and translated into proteins. It's like a sophisticated factory production line where the DNA is the blueprint and the proteins are the final products. In essence, proteins are the dynamic, multifunctional powerhouses of life. From acting as catalysts in chemical reactions to being the pillars of our physical structure, proteins are everywhere, doing everything. They are the unseen, unsung heroes working tirelessly to sustain life. Proteins are indeed the workhorses of life, carrying out critical tasks to keep us alive. Moving on, what is ATP and why is it called the energy currency of the cell? ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, is a fascinating molecule that plays a critical role in the life of a cell. It's made up of 3 parts: a base, a sugar, and not 1, not 2, but 3 phosphate groups. This trio of phosphates is the real powerhouse here, each one packed with potential energy like a coiled spring. When a cell needs energy, it's ATP that answers the call. The bond between the second and third phosphate groups is broken, releasing a burst of energy and leaving behind a molecule of ADP, or adenosine diphosphate. This isn't a one-way street though. When there's a surplus of energy, the cell can add a phosphate back onto ADP, turning it back into ATP, ready to power the next wave of cellular activity. Picture a bustling city with a constant ebb and flow of transactions taking place. In every shop, every market stall, goods are traded for currency. It's a ceaseless exchange driven by supply and demand. Now, shrink that city down, down, down until it's the size of a single cell. The goods are cellular processes that require energy, and the currency they're traded for is ATP. From muscle contractions to nerve impulses, from building complex molecules to breaking them down, ATP is there, providing the energy that fuels life's processes. It's a remarkable system, a microscopic economy that's been fine-tuned over billions of years of evolution. So why do we call ATP the energy currency of the cell? Because just like money, it's a medium of exchange. It's a way to store potential energy and then deliver it exactly where it's needed, when it's needed. And just as a city couldn't function without a flow of currency, a cell couldn't live without a supply of ATP. Just like money is exchanged for goods and services, ATP is traded for energy in the bustling marketplace of the cell. Now, why are cell membranes made of two layers of lipids? The question that prompts us to delve into the amazing world of lipids, these fascinating molecules that are so much more than just fats and oils. Let's talk about the lipid bilayer, the signature structure of cell membranes. The story of the lipid bilayer begins with the unique properties of lipids themselves. You see, lipids are amphipathic molecules, which means they have a split personality. On one hand, they have a hydrophilic head, which loves water. On the other hand, they have a hydrophobic tail that can't stand it. This dual nature is what drives the formation of the bilayer. Imagine a crowd of these lipids in a water-rich environment, like inside our bodies. The hydrophilic heads happily mingle with water while the hydrophobic tails try to escape. What do? They arrange themselves in a way where the tails hide in the middle, away from water, and the heads face the water on both sides. The result? A two-layered structure or a bilayer. Now, why is this bilayer so important for cells? Well, it provides a stable yet flexible barrier, protecting the cell and its precious contents from the outside world. It's like a security guard, not allowing anything to enter or leave the cell without proper checking. The lipid bilayer also ensures that only certain substances can cross the membrane. It's selectively permeable, meaning it allows some substances to cross more easily than others. This selectivity is crucial for maintaining the right balance of substances inside the cell. But the lipid bilayer is more than just a barrier and a gatekeeper. It's also a platform where many cellular processes take place. For example, proteins embedded in the membrane carry out functions like signal transmission and energy production. So, you see, the lipid bilayer is not just two layers of lipids. It's a dynamic, complex structure that is vital for cellular life. It's the unsung hero, providing protection, selective transport, and a platform for life's essential processes. The lipid bilayer is the unsung hero of cellular life, providing protection and selective transport. Finally, why do we crave sugar? This question has puzzled minds for centuries, and today we delve into the sweet mystery that is our sugar cravings. Let's start with the basics. Sugar, specifically glucose, is the primary source of energy for our bodies. When we consume sugar, our body breaks it down into glucose, which is then absorbed into our bloodstream. The glucose is carried to our cells, where it is used to produce energy. This process is quick and efficient, making sugar an instant energy booster. Now, onto the brain, our body's command center. The brain is an energy-intensive organ, making up only about 2% of our body weight, but consuming about 20% of our daily energy intake. And guess what the brain's preferred source of energy is? That's right, it's glucose. Without a steady supply of glucose, our brain function can suffer, affecting our mood, memory, and cognitive abilities. But here's the catch. Our brains can't store glucose, so they rely on a constant supply from the food we eat. This is where sugar cravings come into play. When our glucose levels drop, our brain sends out signals that we interpret as sugar cravings. It's our body's way of telling us that it needs more fuel. The physiological basis for sugar cravings is further complicated by the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with feelings of pleasure and reward. When we eat sugar, our brain releases dopamine, making us feel good and reinforcing the desire to eat more sugar. This is why sugar is often associated with comfort food and why we crave it when we're stressed or upset. In conclusion, our bodies are hardwired to desire sugar. It's a quick source of energy for our cells and the preferred fuel for our brain. When we're low on energy, our brain signals us to eat more sugar, leading to those all too familiar sugar cravings. Our bodies are hardwired to desire sugar, the instant energy booster. So there you have it, the answers to 5 intriguing questions in biochemistry. What a journey it's been, diving into the depths of the microscopic world that underpins all life. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned today. We started off by unraveling the DNA blueprint, the genetic code that defines every organism on Earth. It's like the software program that instructs the body's hardware. Then we delved into the world of proteins, the workhorses of the cell, carrying out a myriad of tasks from structure to function. Next, we examined ATP, the energy currency of the cell. It's truly a marvel how this molecule stores and releases energy to power the countless reactions taking place in our bodies every second. We then explored the lipid bilayer, the protective barrier that not only separates the interior of the cell from the outside world, but also facilitates communication and transport. Lastly, we unraveled the sweet mystery of carbohydrates, not just a source of energy, but also key players in cell recognition and immune response. Biochemistry is a complex and fascinating field that helps us unravel the mysteries of life. Each molecule, each reaction, each process is a testament to the incredible intricacy and efficiency of nature. The more we learn, the more we realize how much there is yet to discover. Until next time, keep questioning and stay curious.